I really wanted to discuss how you feel about money. Today I was talking to this woman and I had an opportunity to help her with a charity fundraising and so on. And she had so much static around money. It was unbelievable. Her thought was, money's dirty. Money's evil. We can't include money with, some really good causes and so on, because as soon as we bring in money or anything like that, it becomes diluted and nasty. And I don't know if anyone else has any of those feelings around money, but I was raised to believe that money was the root of all evil, that you cheated people in business. So you could cheat people in business, but you couldn't cheat a plant to grow. So that had to be with honest labor. But anybody that was the middleman, they were corrupt. Business was corrupt. Money was evil. Money would, hi Sandra, wonderful to see you here. Money would do nasty things to you and so on. If you had it, and people with money weren't happy. These were all thoughts that I had surrounding money and how I felt about it. And it's very interesting because I have spent years looking at those belief systems that were handed down to me, and they didn't really belong to me. They were not my beliefs. Money, in fact, is neutral. It's not evil. It's not the thing that's going to corrupt you. It amplifies whatever you already are. So if you are a kind and generous person with an awakened consciousness and so on, and you really care, you care about the world and you want to help out in this beautiful, beautiful world that we live in, you're going to treat money very differently. So I just look at this and I look at the scarcity that so many people have. And, I'm glad you agree with me, Sandra, because it's so easy to get trapped into this scarcity mode and thinking that, there isn't enough to go around. And that money is like a piece of pie. And if everybody takes a piece of the pie, there's not going to be enough left. Somebody has to be deprived if somebody else has it. And that's just not so. In actual fact, it's very different. If we are coming from a place of creativity, if we're using our creativity and we're creating something that didn't exist before, we're changing and transforming people so that they can be of more value. They can give more to people. Well, when we do that, we're not coming from a place of competition. So we're creating new abundance and so on. It's a completely different thing than competition. And I've seen competition. Competition involves hoarding knowledge, not sharing what you're doing, the successes that you're doing, because your knowledge that you have is your job security. And in actual fact, that is a complete fallacy, because that's not the way you want it. Hi Josh, good to see you. And anyway, if you are coming from a place of creativity, it's completely different. Competition and hoarding knowledge and this type of thing, you want to climb the rungs of the ladders and you want to push everybody down behind you. You don't want anyone to succeed. You want to play politics and so on. That's one way of doing things. Thanks for the love. That's one way of doing things, but that's not the way that's really going to give you success. And that's not going to give you a sense of fulfillment. That's not going to rock your world and leave a legacy and give you a sense of really contributing and giving value. So take a look, really seriously. Take a look at how you view money and what your feelings are around it. Did you buy into the thing of money doesn't grow on trees and money's the root of all evil and so on? And, I'm looking at what Paul said here, and he said, agreed, handling knowledge is about insecurity and lack of confidence in oneself, or hoarding knowledge. Yes, Paul. You know, and if you really want job security, you're going to teach other people what you know so that you don't become indispensable on your job and you can rise up that ladder, if it's the corporate ladder that you're looking on rising on. Oh, thanks for the love. That's really great. But you know, the thing is that scarcity and holding back on money are really harming you. They're harming you from tapping into abundance and being able to move forward in your life and create wealth. Because remember, money is not good. It's not bad. It's just neutral. It has no energy itself. It's just neutral. It's what we do with the money that counts. It's how we grow into it as people that counts. I mean, this is a huge aspect to consider, because if you allow yourself to be constricted, and if you buy into these things, that money is going to harm you, that money's evil, that money's going to corrupt you, that wealthy people are not happy, that abundance is going to rob somebody else, you are missing the boat. You are holding yourself back. Just remember, it's just between our ears, okay? It's just between our ears. And as a longevity rescuer, money, wealth, our well-being, financial well-being, is a very important aspect of the work that I do. So really, you can let go. You can release those ideas about money because they don't belong to you in the first place. Those are things that you inherited. Perhaps your parents or your grandparents went through the Depression and so on, and they had these feelings. But you don't need to have that. Carrie, you're saying that these are your thinking also. Is this your thinking in scarcity? Are you thinking about money in terms of scarcity? Are you thinking about money in terms of being evil? Or are you thinking about that those ideas don't belong to you and you don't want to carry them anymore? Because if you are carrying those thoughts, they are going to block you. And it's funny because learning how to receive is a very important aspect for women, because they're always give. But it's really important to understand too that giving is even more valuable than receiving if you know how to receive. So as the female gender and raised and so on, we are raised to believe that we have to be the nurturer and the caregiver and so on for everybody. But that's actually can do us a lot of harm because we come from a place of depletion. Okay? We are coming from a place of burnout, and then we resent the people around us and so on. Instead, we can come from a place of fulfillment. And there's another comment here. I'm just going to see if I can actually see what you've said here. You said, unfortunately, constriction and conformity is part of the socially engineered condition with money. And unless you give money and the energy you give money new meaning, the old default meanings of, and I can't see the whole thing, unfortunately. So I don't get to see everything that you wrote. It's too long, Paul. But, you know, we don't have to buy into that conformity. For God's sakes, we can be individuals. We can be different. We can change our way of thinking. We have the capability to change it and to change our feelings around money. And I'm going to suggest the I am statement to start with, because I notice that a lot of people that I work with actually have guilt around the very idea of thinking about money. So if you think you don't deserve money and so on, think again, okay? And as soon as you wake up in the morning, try an I am statement. Try saying, I am wealth. Hi, Mo. It's good to see you here. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. And so if this exercise works, okay, just think about it like this. The I am statement is the shortest sentence in the English language, and it is the most powerful. Okay? So if you start to think of wealth as neutral instead of a negative thing, and, instead of something that you love and you strive for, and so on, because people, the love of money, right? It doesn't lead to satisfaction, and it doesn't lead to happiness, and so on. So you don't want to love it, and you don't want to hate it. It's neutral. What you want to do is you want to love being of service. You want to love being of value. You want to love being able to tap into your own genius and give from that place of overflow. And that allows the abundance of money to flow into your life. But not if you've got blocks in it. Not if you think it's an evil, bad, horrible thing. Not if you've got, like what one of my coaches says, you've got a money monster. And you look at money like a big, bad monster. If you're looking at that in that way, or scarcity, that if you have money, you're robbing somebody else, that's going to really block you. So try this I am statement. Okay, remember, it's the shortest sentence in the English language, and whatever you put behind it is the most powerful. So try it on for size. As soon as you wake up in the morning and get out of bed, say, I am wealthy. I am abundance. And if you want it even more powerful, use the noun. I am wealth. I am abundance. And try that. Try saying that. See how that feels for you. When you get up, and you have to go pee and you go into the bathroom, keep repeating it. When you're brushing your teeth and you look in the mirror, keep repeating it. Repeat it to yourself over and over, and that can break the pattern of these beliefs that you've been taking on that don't belong to you. That money's the root of all evil, that money causes corruption, and so on. It's not true, okay? Just remember, money is neutral, okay? It has no value, only what we assign it. So take control now of your thoughts. Allow yourself to step into your own genius and your own service. Be of service to others. Allow abundance to come into your life, because you know what? The more money that you have, the more good that you can do on this planet. So I hope that you could hear me okay and that this wasn't too screwed up. Okay, so Paul, you said more important, believe that you are wealth. Precisely. But in order to get to that belief, okay, if you're coming from a place of scarcity, like the woman I was talking to today, when I was talking about, well, let's do something. Let's do a fundraiser. Let's incorporate. One of the things that I'm working with is great for raising money. And so when I went and I talked to her about that, she was, oh, no, we can't taint my cause with money. That would just be diluting it. That would be evil. That would be no good. Well, she had assigned money a very negative thing, okay? But if you can release that and you can let go of that, you got to break that pattern. So if you're coming from there, Paul, and you're moving over to another place where you can actually allow abundance into your life and so on, and you can believe your wealth, you have to somehow break that pattern. You have to do what's called a pattern interrupt. And the way you're going to do that pattern interrupt with money is going to be by repetition. Repetition into your subconscious. Now, at first you may not believe it, it may not make any sense to you and so on, but like I said, what's the harm? Okay? You've gotten out of bed, you're going about doing your day, and you're saying, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am wealth, I am abundance. And you just keep repeating that to yourself as you're walking along and so on. And if you're alone and you have a place where you can do it, you can shout it out to the skies, I am wealth, I am abundance, and so on. Somebody hears you, they may think you're a little crazy, but so what, Allow yourself to change your thoughts around money. Because I have a feeling, okay? I have an intention. I have set an intention The intention that I have set is to put to put wealth into the hands of heart-centered people. Can you imagine? Hi, Robbie. Good to see you. Hi, Dawn. If we could put wealth into the hands of heart-centered people, do you realize what a difference we could make on this planet? Do you realize what could happen if people that actually cared got over their thing of like, oh God, it's not spiritual if I'm rich or something like that. If they got over that crap and they started realizing that money's neutral and they could just go for it and they could allow as much abundance into their lives as they wanted, and then they could turn around and do some good, oh, we could look at another reality, okay? We wouldn't have all this fear and all this stuff that's going on right now. So again, okay, it's Alison Heath, the longevity rescuer. It may seem that, health is my big thing, okay? Anti-aging, looking healthier, younger, feeling better. It's my 60th year, but I got to tell you something, okay? Wealth and your thoughts around money affect your health, okay? It really affects your health. So allow yourself to let that abundance in and try the I am statement as an interrupt to break through those thoughts and beliefs that are not serving you, that are doing you damage and harm in your life, okay? Because money is not evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees, this, that, all this stuff. That stuff's just not true, okay? You can be wealthy and you can be very, very happy, and you can help a great many people. It has nothing to do with your spirituality. It has nothing to do with your evolution. It has nothing to do with your consciousness, okay? It is a neutral tool, okay? So why don't you be different, okay? Why don't you love people and use money instead of the opposite, which is so often what happens. And that's the side of the people that love money. But we don't have to be like that, okay? We can lock arms, work together,